It's what you need to face the day. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes.
It is incredibly helpful to start my day off with them.
With 1310 WYBA.
Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Family Insurance, TPC Wisconsin, Oak Park Place, Wild Rock Golf Club, Zimbrick Mercedes-Benz of Madison, also University Ridge Golf Course, Ridge Top Exteriors, Cleary Building Corp., and Nevada Bobs. Now from the new home of TPC Wisconsin in Madison, here are the hosts of Talking Golf. Member of the Wisconsin.Golf Hall of Fame, the legendary Dennis Tiziani, longtime Madison sportscaster Paul Braun, and Wisconsin sports veteran and statewide radio host Mike Heller.
Well, we welcome you to TPC Wisconsin in Madison. I'm Mike. That's Dennis in the middle, Paul on the other side. We'll be joined in a little bit by Gary D'Amato, and we'll begin in Newport, Rhode Island, where this morning, as we're live on a Monday night, they wrapped up the U.S. Senior Open, the final major. The British Open on the senior side is still to come, final of the Champions Tour major events. And Richard Bland shot a 4-under par 66 in the final round and then won after the aggregate two-hole playoff. They went two more before they wrapped it up, and he beat Hiroyuki Fujita on the extra holes. And you know, I understand, Dennis, you were only rooting for one guy because the guy who won it is a Brit, and the guy who finished second was from Japan. So we had a rooting interest in the guy that lives up the road, didn't we?
Well, he just didn't putt very good.
Didn't putt well.
And but that's okay. He'll be better, and he'll get going on now the rest of this season.
So I wanted to ask you about, last week I asked about the longer putter. Steve changed putter grip. Now, I'm not talking about Steve, but you can relate this to Steve. A lot of players have gone and are interested in the change of the grip, more comfortable, bigger grip, the square grip, whatever that might be. What's your feel? And I know that you think it's the person more than the equipment at times, but what's your feel on those who like the idea of changing that equipment or that grip on their putter?
Well, you know, you understand the feel is in your hands.
Yeah.
Huh? If I tell you to take something out of your pocket, you'd reach in your pocket. For you, probably it's your right hand. If I tell you to take a coin, you'd go like this. So this is where your feel is, okay? Now, the wider that your hands are, the less they're going to work. They're going to be. That's why they do that long putter. So now I look at that and say, well, what are you doing? You're taking the feel out of the putt.
Right.
Now, when I grew up and when I was out on the tour, it was the other way around. Mm-hmm. It was very narrow.
And very wristy, right?
Well,
at times.
Well, because of the speed of the greens. But as we got on, it was faster. And then what we did is got, we put we took clothes hangers, took the clothes part, put it down the side so your thumb can fit flat on the deal here. But it was thin. Those guys were pretty good putters.
Yeah.
This business here with the wide and the long and all that sort of stuff, I mean, what are you telling me, that you have other problems for putting?
Yeah.
I mean, are you yipping? I mean, those are all legitimate questions to do it, but somewhere along the line, that's a gimmick.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, and you talk about taking the feel out, right? And you're talking about right-hand feel for right-handed putter, for Paul left-handed. That is the same conversation can be had for the claw grip, that reverse, where the right hand goes where you don't really use the wrist and take some of that feel out.
The putter head should feel.
Yeah.
The putter head should lead to the left, just like your golf swing. I'm not advocating that you flip it, but I'm saying you put the putter on square. You do not hit it.
Yeah.
Never hit on square and then the follow through. So I watch these guys with these big grips and stuff. They hit and then they hold.
Right.
What is that? They're kind of holding that line. You have to feed the line. But, then again, there's some people that putt pretty good doing that.
Sure.
But I think that, putting is a will. Putting is more mental anyway than anything. And but I have never been an advocate of the long putter, nor the one with the big grip.
Okay.
Only because I'm telling you, I know where my feel is.
Where the feel is, yeah.
Right.
Dennis, how about reversing your hands?
Well, that when you reverse it, then your left hand low. Again, it's somewhere where you wouldn't flip. This is what they're going ahead. And I'm saying, well, if you were trained not to hit the ball, then it's not going to flip. You put it on square, right? So it's more of a shoulder move until you go to the left. Then it becomes hands to the left.
Yeah.
Now, you watch some of these people, somebody missing them short putts, 6, 8 feet. Well,
Right.
I watched their putter on the way back, and the blade is open to the line. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to do from here? When it's 20 feet away, boop, you can close it, and you get.
Yeah.
What happens when you get in close and you can't do this?
Yeah.
Because this is going to put roll on the ball, right?
Yeah. So I'm curious about the industry then, because the industry that lives on equipment sales, new grips, new putters, new drivers, new 3-woods, new irons, new wedges. So how often are we missing the boat here on the idea of training a better swing as opposed to training more expensive repurchased equipment?
I think there's teachers out there, but I don't think there's a lot of teachers. I think they're teaching personal preference.
Sure.
And I think that they're doing it for the money. I think that's happening. And I get all of that, because a guy, this is what works for him, so it should work for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not really difficult. A circle is round and a line is straight.
Yeah.
You can't have
That
an opinion.
hasn't changed, right?
That hasn't changed at all. And this business, back on putting, am I taking too much time?
No, you're good.
No, you're fine.
This business with putting, you believe you can't have an opinion on a fact.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So wouldn't you say that the longer the blade can stay square to the line towards the ball, the more accurate you'll be?
Yes.
Oh. Do you believe that shoulders make the plane?
Yes. These
Okay.
are all easy answers, by the way. I know that I've got the
you see,
answers to this
we
test.
believe shoulders make the plane.
Right.
Do you believe every putt's a straight putt?
Yes.
Only the ground makes it go crooked.
Right.
So I've got to find the point that I can putt the ball. How far can I putt it straight before the ground turns the ball? Okay, now knowing that, I've got to get my toe line on the line that I'm putting. Not necessarily to the hole, on the line that I'm putting, my toe line. Because when that gets square, my knees square, my hips square. Oh, the big item, my shoulders are square. And I asked you, do you believe the shoulders make the plane? Yes. Do you believe the plane is the line?
Well, I'm going to say yes to all your questions.
Well, my point is then, shouldn't your shoulders work on the line?
Yeah.
Rock the baby, right? When I see these guys going over like this and I see these shoulders, you're done.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now you got to come back. That's not the deal. It's this way here. So there are some principles, not teacher preference, fundamentals.
Yeah.
And then you can get the ball. And there's a number of drills that we do for people. We put the putter right behind the ball. Now, all I want you to do now is I want you to roll the ball. I want you to move the putter head to the left.
Yeah.
Total different roll. Now, when you do that, you'll notice that the ball leaves the toe, because you're rolling it.
It's going to push it out.
It'll roll out to the toe. That's the release. But then there's certain sports that do the same thing. Drag the toe.
That's a hockey term.
Yeah.
Well, watch what they do. This way here, and it goes that way.
Yeah.
Right? Heel first. Heel to the right, heel to the left.
What do you think? We haven't talked to him, and Steve will not be on with us tonight, but you mentioned the rest of the year. What do you think the rest of the year looks like for him?
He's really hitting the ball good. I mean, that's one thing. I watched his swings. I got tapes of his that I've been watching, and that's really good. It's just a matter of time before he gets in the mood in order to be there to play.
Yep.
And I think that, he's getting to a point now where he's going to get, very picky on where he plays. But you'll see that, before this year is out, you'll see this same thing again. Here's a guy that's in contention. He should have won that tournament by 10 shots, right?
Sure.
But if he'd have putted good. So that's where he's got to wiggle down to his putting. But he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, he's a field putter. This stuff that I told you about fundamentals and stuff, he's going to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, once he gets going and he gets that feel, it's pretty hard to stop it.
So let me ask you, I've asked Gary D'Amato about this. We've talked about the calendar a couple of times. I don't know that I've gotten your opinion. The calendar changed from, not all that long ago. That's we're going to have the British Open here in a couple of weeks.
Right.
And then it's done. The President's Cup is in mid-September. From a calendar standpoint, do you like that we're done with majors in July?
Well, it's
money, right?
That's
we'll
what I'm
go
telling
back to
you.
it.
All of this is governed
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
money part. You go later on in the year,
You're competing with football.
School, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Now's the time. You're going to get that's when the golf. They're hot for golf. They're going to watch golf. But are you watching golf like you did before? I don't know most of the
No,
players.
Right.
I'm
Sure.
not. I'm not watching.
So you're not watching it. Now, I'm telling you what, they're really good. And I'm not so sure that the ones that are there are a hell of a lot better than what was there.
Right.
But it's just about it, that pizzazz isn't there.
But let me bring up something that will make you happy. The
Uh-oh.
last 3 tournaments have been won by live players.
Yeah, well, those are good players.
Yeah.
They went ahead. Them went and took some of the best players off. And then some of the players that were left, figure it out. Have you heard of this guy Jordan Spieth? Where's he been, And Ricky Fowler and on and on it goes. That, they all just now have kids. That's a big pull.
Yeah.
They took they made a choice. They're going to go with their faith, family, education, golf. Well, they went with their family. Good for them. Not that some of these guys didn't, but they went ahead and they took some of the best players, and they'll continue to do that. I'm a firm believer that whoever controls the checkbook controls this business.
Yeah.
They control the check, but just a matter of time before that happens. But, I know enough about people that's going to change. If I had to do it all over, I would do this. I'd start my own tour. I'd start one PGA Tour. Go back the way it was instead of PGA Tour. Hell with it. Just go PGA Tour. You'd get a lot. And I'll tell you what, all that money that they're getting, that would go into retirement for PGA professionals, not retirement for guys that are making millions of dollars. And that's what I'm concerned about. And if you don't pay the going rate for employees, you're not going to get the best employees.
Correct.
I'm not telling you that the PGA members we have, but you know what? A lot of credit card collectors in there.
Sure.
A lot of this, a lot of that. The independent part. And, I wish they would start their own tour, start all over again. You'd get a lot of players. If Liv can get people, there are people that are loyal.
Sure.
And they're going to go back to this people who are every one of those players started at a place where there was a PGA guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And we got to get back to that. So get back to something that's happening. Quit this running away. 100 million, 800 million. What is that?
Forever ago, when the previous lifetime, I was a PGA member, and the guy that got me into it, his name was Jesse Weeks at Orgill Golf Club in Millington, Tennessee, and he was my mentor. Right. But for all those kids that came through his program, he was their teacher, their coach, a second father. And then I want to talk about Travis Becker will be on with us later in a lesson segment. What you are doing here at TPC Wisconsin with the group that teaches, and it starts with him, but we know it starts with you and Larry and the work that you guys put into teaching the game.
And still do it.
That's its core. That's the core of a golf club here especially, but not just here, in lots of places. Derek Schnarr is a great teacher, and they understand what we're doing with that concept, but that's where it begins for you, is that you want to teach the game and grow the game from the instruction side, and that's what TPC Wisconsin is about too.
Well, you see, that's their job.
Yeah.
It isn't, I got a lesson, but then I got to run and put carts out, or I got to do this. No. That's what they do. And pretty soon you're going to hear of that, you know about the Golf Foundation, what's going on. And I go over there every day, and I make a pass through what those guys are teaching so I can hear what they're teaching, give them a little bit of, what I think it is and get them back onto some stuff. But you're going to hear pretty soon we're very concerned about college golf. We're very concerned about what happens at MATC.
Sure. Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you're going to hear pretty soon how we're going to be involved.
Yeah.
MATC. Condition, however, and my question to Mr. Verhulst is, do you have a women's team?
Yeah.
No.
And why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
So that's you're going to see. So what I'm talking about is a different type of a commitment.
Yep.
It's the ham and egg story. You
right.
know what I'm saying? In a ham and egg story, the chicken is involved, but the pig is committed. You know what I'm saying? That's us. I do. And we're committed.
Well,
and you go over there and you'll see it, and it's not. It's also going to get better.
Yeah.
We just met today on what's going to happen in those 4 stalls as it reaches the Tracman and stuff like that. Well, you know.
Well, and I'll add this, and I'm throwing a compliment at you, but not for your sake.
Be careful.
I'll be careful here.
Because what's his name's going to be on? Gary.
Gary, he might not be listening right now, but I'm pretty sure he is. You don't say no. And all I mean by that, if anybody, for those of you who know Dennis, anytime somebody has asked you, hey, can you come look at my swing, I don't know that you say no to other things.
Not very much.
Find your passion and give it away.
See, there's what he said.
There it is.
Find your passion and give it away.
I say find your gift.
Yeah.
You know, a passion, but find your gift and give it away. When we get over there, and then can I pay you? Can I do it? What is that?
Yeah.
Do you realize I watched this girl that we get done with, I look over there, and Mom is smiling.
Yeah. That's enough.
You can't buy that. But that's a different type of guy.
Sure.
You know,
Yep.
There are guys that are in the business that need the credit card collect to get the job.
Yep.
And now we'll go ahead. So where's the real problem? Well, I go back. Well, it's maybe not necessarily there, but how about that board of directors that's running the club that they're at? Are they really aware of the fact that this guy is that important? Well, no, we got to be a little bit careful what we pay them and stuff like that. And I get it. However, that's the guy. Or girl.
Yeah, well, and that's the reason I brought that up is that Paul will ask you, and you say yes. And if I'm over there and I say, hey, can you look at my swing, the answer is yes, and it's part of what TPC Wisconsin does. But it's what you did and what you're doing, and all those guys that are in this, right?
It's a little selfish motive.
Sure, I
Keep
get
paying
it.
your dues, buddy. You know?
Well, that's...
I'm in the dues collection business. That's
I
not really true, but that is the fact, is that if I know they're playing and they play better, then they keep coming here.
Right. But Alan Mitchell did that when I was working for him. If I said, hey, can you help look at my swing, he would look at it. Mike Schnarr would look at it.
All the time.
You've always said yes. I mean, that is part of the growth of the game and part of the lesson side of the game, teaching people how to play better.
It isn't that these pros don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But they do.
Yeah.
But the fact is that
they're responsible to somebody.
They don't have that freedom to do that. I think of Bob Brew. I think of all those people there.
Yeah.
When is the last time that you heard of a player? I don't want to be derogatory here, but there. See what I'm saying right there?
There's a player.
There's a player.
Yeah, but that's what she's. Where has the person in Madison, Wisconsin, professional, won anything?
Right. Yeah.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Well, why I'm looking for is your ability to play and your ability to teach. Those are the two things that separate you from anything. You can always get somebody to sell a shirt or get a tee time.
Yeah.
That's not even a big deal. But playing and teaching.
Yeah.
Years ago, when a pro walked into a place where they're having a drink or a beer, he was the best player at the club.
Yeah.
Wait a while.
Yeah.
It's not the case anymore.
Yeah, they don't let
but
him
there
play.
are some. Now you mentioned Derek.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for somebody like that.
Yeah.
And there's the other boy that's at. He used to be a club fitter. Played at Wisconsin. He is a club fitter. Played at and I forget his name, but another guy that's got that passion to play.
Yeah.
And Chuck Hinner is his son-in-law.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I mean. Those are people that are in the game. That's what they do. They don't want to be stuck getting tee times.
Right.
Anyway,
Growing what we're doing.
Enough of my.
One of those guys who talks about and writes about it, Gary D'Amato, will join us on the other side. We'll talk about this, the U.S. Senior Open, and he was down to the Ray Fisher over the last couple of days, so we'll get an update on what's going on in the state of Wisconsin golf. Gary D'Amato will join us on the other side as we continue talking golf from TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bond. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
TPC Wisconsin offers fantastic facilities for the whole family. They not only provide members with 18 holes of an elite golfing caliber challenge, but an Olympic-sized swimming pool, spacious accommodations for family gatherings, weddings, corporate business meetings, and a variety of programs for the junior golfers. Question is, are you up for the TPC Wisconsin fantastic facilities? Now's the time to tee up a TPC membership. Call 608-249-1000.
Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. When you construct a Cleary building, you become part of the amazing Cleary team we are so proud of. One thing to be aware of is when it's golf season, our team has a tendency to switch to golf lingo on the job site.
Jim, you better take a mulligan on that.
Rest assured you are still getting the best quality. The best. Hey, is that crane getting close to?
4!
Go for the green with a new Cleary building, like the one at TPC, Wisconsin.
Now is the time to take the short drive to Wild Rock Golf Club and experience championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Located in the Wisconsin Dells, this Herdston Fry masterpiece offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is sure to dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike any place you've played before. Come be part of the Wild Rock experience by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements. With a track record of excellence on our Google reviews, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Back at TPC Wisconsin here in Madison, along with Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Braun, and Gary D'Amato is joining us now. Gary is involved with Wisconsin.Golf. And Gary, one of the big events every summer is the Ray Fisher tournament. So let's start our conversation there and give us a recap of the recent event.
Yeah, the Ray Fisher concluded Sunday, 36-hole finale. It's Wisconsin Public Links Association's signature event, 72-hole amateur championship. I think probably you put it in terms of prestige, behind the State Open and State Amateur, and that would be, the third one. Always gets a great field, and it's always a shootout because Janesville Riverside is pretty short for all these young bombers, and they make tons of birdies. Really good finish for the third time in 4 years it went to a playoff. And Dustin Schwab won the playoff over Wisconsin player Jacob Beckman on the first extra hole. They both shot 20 under for 72 holes, which is pretty dang good. And the other thing about the final round is the Schmidtke brothers, Mason, who goes to Marquette, and his older brother Max, who goes to South Dakota, combined for 18 birdies and an eagle in the final round and shot 62 and 64. So some pretty good scoring out there.
I saw your posted interview with the two brothers, and they had some fun, and they were paying attention to each other's scores because they weren't in the same group, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, Blue Golf, they get the scores on their phones, and so Mason called up his brother's scores and saw that that Max started his round with 7 straight birdies.
Wow.
Which doesn't happen too often on any level anywhere. And so Mason said, I had to put my foot to the pedal to try to keep up with him. And Mason played a great back nine. He holed out, I think, a 9-iron shot on a par 4 and then chipped in on the next hole. And both brothers just went crazy. It was fun.
Yeah.
Where do they go to school?
One at Marquette, one at South Dakota, did you say?
South Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Dakota. The older one goes to South Dakota. Yeah.
You don't ever mention where did that tournament start?
The Ray Fisher.
Yeah, where did that start?
It started at Cherokee, didn't it?
That's right, long time ago. I just happened, is he still on? Yeah. I just happened to get a text from a guy. You remember him, Dave Lund? You know that name? Dave Lund?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, he used to be on our show, and he says, I remember being on the show, we were talking about Mo Norman and my winning the first 72-hole tournament at Cherokee, beating Steve Caravello on the 8th hole of sudden death.
Is that right?
Yeah, so, there's some history there, and big time there. But it went from here down to there. I don't think we could get the idea of them making 18 to 20 birdies playing here.
Not here.
Right.
No.
I don't think that would happen, but good for them.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you what's out there. I was telling you about these young
some great
guys.
Players.
Unbelievable how good they are, and they have to have a place to go.
Yeah.
Where am I going from here?
Yeah.
And that part is something that
bothered you that the one went to Marquette. So
what?
That's exactly right.
I saw that too, Mike.
Yeah. Gary, let's talk about the U.S. Senior Open, which also wrapped up today out in Rhode Island. And Steve just couldn't putt it like he has putted. Otherwise, he likely wins that tournament, but that's not how it happened. So the Champions Tour, the U.S. Senior Open, went to another day, and Richard Bland from Great Britain is your champion. What'd you see?
Yeah, I was. I read some stuff on the internet about Steve switching putters, but it was kind of shocking. When I tuned in to the telecast and saw the putter he was wielding. I've never seen anything quite like that in his hand before. He obviously putted pretty good in the first 3 rounds, with 366s. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes from here with the putter. Have you guys had him on the show today? I'm
nope.
sorry I haven't been
well, they came back today, so we left him alone off of that round this morning and then the flight back. But, Dennis, I'll have you, because we didn't address that out of the Open. He did. He switched to that different putter and a different grip over the last week or 10 days. It's always been his forte. Obviously, he felt like for now that would serve him better.
We putted with it here, obviously. This was not the first time he putted.
Right.
It was phenomenal how many putts he made and how good it was putting here.
Yeah.
What happened out there, because it's a different system there, in your system. The other thing is the putter's heavier. There was a putter a long time ago that Ping made.
Okay.
He used to make a Ping.
Yeah.
A lot of people putted great with that putter because it left the putter and went hard. Most people missing putts is short.
Yeah.
We did a survey on short putts. 100% of short putts don't go in.
Really?
Yeah. But if
that number's never changed.
You get that ball rolling a little bit better and get more aggressive to the hole. You make putts, and that was that putter there. It's still pretty good. They changed the insert from the metal down to a thing, but I was really impressed with the way he putted with that putter. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially from that 8 to 10 foot range, was really good.
So you fully expect him to stay with it?
Yeah, there's it's not the arrow. I tell you
We've
that
heard
100
that.
times. It's still him about it, and whether or not there was 100% commitment mentally to what's going on is another story. And he's going to face that as time goes on. He's 56 now.
Yeah.
60's not far away. What's the motivation as we go on? That type of deal. Does he have the same thing for winning those tournaments? Those are all things that he's going to have to decipher as part of his program. But he's got another life,
Oh, gosh, yeah. I was thinking about this earlier today.
He's got another life.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We have a lot of fun between hunting and between doing this and that, fishing pretty soon. So there's a whole thing. He deserves every bit of that. I was with him, obviously, from the start and know how hard he worked and all the stuff and the sleeplessness and everything else to get to where he's at. And he made it. What else should this guy win?
Yeah, right.
There's nothing to prove to anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Other than to himself.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And sooner or later, we'll come back down to that again. And we'll see, I told you this before, his history is in his future, and it was. And I'm just telling you that history is going to continue. And I think beyond the age of 60.
Sure, and then I think Gary, let me bring you back into this. You talked about the young brothers at the Ray Fisher. Well, they're in their early 20s, I would assume. This is the one sport, because I can't think of another, where a competitive career, can span 40 plus years.
Correct.
And it's hard to maintain the mental focus, to have the desire, the want to. So when you see, and we've talked about this many times, when you see what Jerry has done and what Steve is doing at their age, they've been competing and grinding at this since they were, teenagers. That's a long run.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Steve is that he's able, as Ben just said a minute ago, to get away from the game, do some things. Although, he's around it a lot with his daughters and with Nikki, obviously. But I think those other interests and the things that take his mind off golf, I think that kind of stuff helps prolong a career, because you're not obsessing over every day over your golf swing, over, all that stuff. And so when he gets out to tournaments, I think he's deep down inside. I mean, Dennis knows Steve a lot better than I do, but I think he still has a big competitive fire burning. So when he does get to tournaments, he still wants to win in the worst way. It's just that he can get away from golf a little bit more now. As Dennis said, he's done everything in the game that, he can do. So, I see his career, health is a big factor, obviously, when a guy gets to those guys' ages. But I see him still going on for 3, 4, 5 more years, picking his spots and playing very well.
Right. Gary, you've been around the game of golf a long, long time and have seen a lot of things.
Too long.
Obviously,
Too long.
Too long, he says. You didn't see this in person, but how about Frank Benzel Jr. over the weekend? 2 holes in 1 on consecutive holes. That's incredible.
I love those kind of stories, and they always, when we write stuff like that, especially when someone in the state does something, with a weird hole in 1, it gets a lot of readership because people are fascinated with those stories. I remember a couple of years ago, the late Steve Howe and his wife Carolyn Barnett Howe made holes in 1 down in Florida on consecutive swings from the same tee using the same golf club. They both hit 7-iron. And I got to believe no husband and wife has ever made hole-in-ones on consecutive swings from the same tee with the same club. Because usually, a woman will be up a tee or will use a different club. So, I love stories like that. And Benzel, 2 back-to-back aces. That I don't think that's probably never happened in golf, I don't think.
Well, out of the
on a regulation course.
Out of the 1,001 USGA events, right? It's never happened. That was and obviously with most of the course designs, there aren't consecutive par 3s, but to do it in that way is fantastic. Well, Gary, what's going on next? In-state golf never really comes to a close, but the Ray Fisher in the early part of July, obviously, or end of June, now gone. What's next?
Well, we've got kind of a slow week here with the holiday. We're going to be posting a couple travel stories I did. I went down to the Ozarks and Branson, Missouri, and playing some golf down there, and I wrote a story about that trip. And then we've got the Women's State Amateur next week. I think Izzy's playing in that, and the week after that's the State Amateur out at Legend at Merrill Hill. So a lot of tournament golf still to go here.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up with Gary, huh?
Yeah. Gary, always appreciate visiting with you. Thanks for spending some time with us. Enjoy the holiday, and we'll talk next week. I think that was him saying goodbye, but we lost it.
We'll be back at TPC Wisconsin right after this timeout.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
University Ridge has been the proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship since 2016. We've enjoyed working with the American Family team to create 9 years of magical moments at University Ridge. Open to the public and consistently considered one of the best values in the country, University Ridge is the place for golf in southern Wisconsin. Book your tee time up to 90 days out online at universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play, University Ridge.
When you or a loved one could use a helping hand, turn to the caring team of experts in senior living at Oak Park Place. This is Paul Braun, and when I needed someone to help me navigate senior living for my wife, I called Oak Park Place. They were with me every step of the way from the first call through move-in day. Choose a community that promotes independence when you want it, assistance when you need it. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
TPC Wisconsin offers fantastic facilities for the whole family. They not only provide members with 18 holes of an elite golfing caliber challenge, but an Olympic-sized swimming pool, spacious accommodations for family gatherings, weddings, corporate business meetings, and a variety of programs for the junior golfers. Question is, are you up for the TPC Wisconsin fantastic facilities? Now's the time to tee up a TPC membership. Call 608-249-1000.
Relationships.
Building them.
Making them last a lifetime.
Since 1978, Cleary has worked to develop true relationships with you, our customers. Hi, I'm Sean Cleary, president of Cleary Building Corp. Relationships are what drive our success. So whether you are looking at storage for your toys or a new ag building, we hope to exceed your expectations each time we serve you. We are here for every stage of your life. Build your dreams today at clearybuilding.com.
Back on Talking Golf here at TPC Wisconsin from Madison. I'm Paul Braun along with Travis Becker, Director of Golf Instruction here at the Golf Academy at TPC. And Travis, there's many different areas within the facility that you use for golf instruction. So we're going to break it down a little bit. And you hear about Tracman. What is Tracman and what does it do?
Sure. For those viewers that are watching live here, we have Tracman in front of us. It's a little orange box you may have seen if you're watching any of the PGA Tour events that sits behind the players.
Yeah.
It actually uses radar technology to measure about 30 different things that's going on with the ball and the club. So, for example, we use it a lot for fitting when we want to look at what the ball flight is doing. It'll tell us ball speed. It'll tell how the ball is leaving the ground. It'll tell us how much backspin is being put on the ball or side spin. It tells us the landing angle, how the ball is falling out of the ground or falling out of the air, and then it also shows us a dispersion for that player.
With all of that technology and all of those results, are there some that are more critical than others, depending on the person?
Yeah, so if we're doing a fitting and we're looking at your spin rate, you know, if your club head speed or your ball speed, we say, is 150 miles an hour or greater, your club head speed then would typically be around 100 miles an hour. We look at spin as more important. If your club head speed's under 100 and your ball speed's under 150, we look more at launch angle.
And in terms of analyzing the average player, what advice can you give them that they should be looked for, or does it depend on that individual?
It does depend on that individual. Again, we look at ball flight first and foremost, but then the technology is there just to kind of back up what's going on with the ball, and the player can see that if the ball's launching too high or too low, or it's spinning too much to the left or to the right. It also shows us what their club is doing, so we can take measurements with their club path and their face angle and set goals for them, and they can actually see when they do it correctly what the numbers are and how that relates to the ball flight they're looking for.
Another one of the facilities that is a very important, one of the instruments, and you and I did this one, and we won't talk about the results, but the putting lab.
Sure, we call it the SAM Putt Lab. Stands for SAM, stands for Science in Motion, and that piece of technology actually uses ultrasound, and it measures 28 different putting parameters when you make a stroke. So it'll take a look at a lot like what Tracman does in the full swing. It does with the putter. It'll tell us your path, your face angle, your skid, your stroke time, your stroke length. It kind of gets into every area that you want to look at.
Actually, I'd like to talk a little bit about the one I did do, and you had the video of it. I putted 7 balls, and all 7 of them basically, well, I'll let you summarize what happened with my test of the 7 balls.
Sure. So we kind of go through it, and we have you hit 7 putts from roughly 10 to 12 feet, and we stop the first 4. so you don't see the result if you're missing to the left or to the right, because once you see that, you're going to compensate as a player. But then we take a look at your path, your face. You wanted to do it a little bit to take a look at what kind of putter fit your stroke the best.
Right.
And what we found was the one that your gamer won in your bag was face balanced and wasn't quite fitting your arc of your stroke and how you squared up the club face, and we went with a putter that had a little bit of toe hang to it, kind of to flow and match your stroke.
What's interesting is I had an older putter that I haven't used. It's been in the storeroom at the condo probably for 15 years. It's a T-line putter. Actually, that's the one that felt the best to me.
Yeah, so you kind of already knew without seeing the data of what felt the best. But we'll have players that bring in 4 or 5 different putters and they see if they have one that fits their stroke. And a lot of times it's one that they might go back to that said, yeah, I bought this putter a long time ago and it felt really good. And for some reason they just got away from it, and here that was the best one that fit their stroke.
When you talk about the face balance, what does that mean to the average person?
So when you balance a putter probably 4 or 5 inches above where the hosel of the club is and balance it on a finger, if the face of the putter stays straight up to the sky, that's face balanced. You can get putters that have 25 degrees of toe hang. That means the toe will drop about 25 degrees to the ground. You can get 45, 60, 90 degree toe hangs. And it's all, that toe hang is based on how you rotate the putter face through impact. So if you have very little rotation, or maybe if you're a right-handed player and you tend to miss to the right, then you want a face balance putter. If you have more rotation or you tend to miss to the left, then you may want a little bit more toe hang in your putter.
And what other technology do you have to analyze swings?
We use V1 software, which is done with an iPad, and we can videotape your swing and we can compare it to tour players, or we can compare maybe your first lesson to a third lesson to make sure you're making the improvements. Again, we do a lot of feel things with players, but it's always good for the player to visually see what we're talking about. We also use an app called Sportsbox AI, which uses artificial intelligence. It creates an avatar of the player, and it measures everything in 3-dimensional space. Some of the biomechanics of the swing. It'll tell us hip turn, shoulder turn. So again, we can create goals based on what that student's doing.
Before we recorded this segment, you had your cell phone out and you were giving me an example of all of the stuff that's there in terms of that sports box.
Yes, so it'll show us, it's very cool. Like you used to have K-Vest where you'd put sensors all over your body, and it would take a long time to get into that and get it set up. Now you can take a face-on video of someone in 2D, and it uses AI and creates this avatar, which again, it'll tell you in degrees what you're turning your shoulders, what you're turning your pelvis, what your X factor is. It'll also tell us your sequencing of your swing.
It sounds very interesting, all of the technology. Is this for the average person, or can anybody use this, or are there specific examples of technology that should be for certain players?
I think in today's world, with everything is so techy, that this benefits pretty much anyone. The younger clientele really likes it to see some of the numbers and see the data, what's going on. But kind of our formula here for our Golf Academy Learning Center is we always like to say we need a PGA professional or someone with experience. We need to be able to see ball flight, and then we need technology. And that's how we get to our fastest improvements, whether it's through a club fitting or through the golf swing.
And you don't have to be a member of TPC. You can come in and experience the Golf Academy, can't you?
Yes, we're open for members and non-members. If you're interested in instruction or club fitting, the easiest way to find us is right through the website, tpcwisconsin.com, and just click on the Golf Academy portion.
Sounds very interesting and also very helpful, Travis, for everybody. And we'll be back after this timeout here at TPC Wisconsin.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues future rocket scientist,
we have liftoff,
or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every
Bobby
state.
Stricker
American
is
Family
ready.
Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Now
Thanks
is the
for blowing
time
out
to
my
take the
eardrums,
short
too.
drive to Wild Rock Golf Club and experience championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Located in the Wisconsin Dells, this Herdston Fry masterpiece offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is sure to dazzle your senses. Secluded and chilled from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike any place you've played before. Come be part of the Wild Rock experience by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, it's Matt LePay, and if you're a homeowner, this message is for you. If you're tired of worrying about your roof, siding, or gutters, look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of experience, they've got you covered, literally. From roofing to siding, windows to doors, and everything in between, trust Ridgetop Exteriors to enhance your home's curb appeal and protect it from the elements. Call them today for a free consultation and experience the peace of mind that comes with quality craftsmanship. Get started at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Are you in need of some rehabilitation to get you back on your feet after a fall or surgery? This is Paul Braun with Oak Park Place. Make a call to Oak Park Place Rehabilitation to develop a customized plan with their highly trained therapy staff. Whether it's inpatient or out, they will work with your physician to get you back on your feet fast. Located on the east and west side of Madison and in Janesville, Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more. TPC Wisconsin is the Total People Center, offering you and your family a totally enjoyable experience. That includes a challenging 18-hole layout, a good variety of programs for junior golfers, indoor and outdoor tennis, athletic performance center, swimming pool, luxurious locker room, and spacious accommodations for family gatherings and weddings. TPC Wisconsin, a Total People Center and a complete game for the whole family. For membership details, call 608-249-1000.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Back with you on Talking Golf from TPC Wisconsin in Madison. Dennis Tiziani to my right, Paul Braun here as well. We welcome in Bobbi Stricker, who was out. Were you house hunting when you were in Rhode Island? It's a pretty beautiful place out there, isn't it? You find a home maybe you'd like on the ocean there.
You know what? Maybe, but we're not going to talk about it because no, it is. I've actually never spent a lot of time out there on the East Coast, and especially in the summertime. We all were talking about it. I think this place we were, Newport, Rhode Island, is it kind of crept into our top 5 places that we've gone to some cool places as a family. Being, you know, my dad playing on the PGA Tour, and this I think crept into the top 5. It was so fun.
Pretty neat. When we talked to you last week, you said you weren't out there just to have fun, although it was a family trip, so that was first and foremost, but there was some golf out there too. I'm always curious when you come back from one of those, Bobbi, what'd you glean? What did you learn from that week? And it was an extra day earlier today. What did you pick up this week?
Really good question. I think, the extra day today obviously added a different element to the whole tournament, and being, closely just listening to my dad, even yesterday, like when that rain, he knew the rain was coming, and then the rain delay happens, and just like, I don't know, my dad doesn't talk a lot, but, you can really, like being around him, you can pick up on a lot of things, and just how he handled that adversity yesterday. Mm-hmm. He wasn't playing his best, right? And then all of a sudden you have to stop. And it's like, okay, well, he hasn't talked about it, but, speaking from, I'm a golfer, and you don't want to stop. You're behind and you're over par. It's the last thing you want to do is stop. You want to keep going. You want to catch up and make up the ground that you lost. So it's weird. Yesterday was weird, and then just seeing how he is, he can kind of, it was very cool, kind of put that behind him, and well, yeah, we had a family trip, and Mario, my Uncle Mario, and my Aunt Cressy also on this trip. So just to kind of put that behind, and then we had dinner, and it was normal.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of listen to how he was going to take on today. When he was talking about it last night, knowing that he needed 4 birdies. Obviously, he didn't do that this morning, but, he's bummed. But just, again, he doesn't say a lot, but it's cool to watch the whole process, and I can see what he's thinking, and that mental side is always really, really cool to be up close and learn from.
Yep.
Bobbi, you've been obviously around him through the whole thing, and you look at Steve's career, and it's been a fabulous career over a long period of time.
Yeah.
When you look at that and the appreciation and how you feel being a golfer and understanding what he's done, what comes to your mind when you look at that total picture?
That I'm really blessed to have like a front row seat to it all, I think is the first thing. And I think, and I've said this to a few people since starting this career of mine when I graduated, so that was already 3 years ago, I really had an appreciation for what my dad did, but now it's even bigger. And our relationship, I feel like, has grown in a really cool way because I'm able to relate to him on a certain level that I'm not to the level that he is, but just I'm able to relate to him. Ask him questions, and the longevity of his skill and just his talent is also something that I'm realizing is just really unique. We always say he's kind of a unicorn because he's just he does things that just you can't really understand. And especially now, going through and living this career, there's some things I'm realizing that are just wow, he is really good at his job. But he's just a really cool person also. So I'm very blessed to have a front row seat to it all. Even my mom. Yeah. My mom is a boss.
The boss.
The boss.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now back onto the golf course. Both you and Izzy out working on your game. And, when we visited last week, you talked about what next month is for Q School for you and how important that is. And Izzy's getting ready to start that collegiate career. So now, I don't know if this was the family trip of the summer, or there might be more to come, but there was a transition right back into the game for you and for Izzy to get ready for what college is.
Yeah. I think we were all talking about it. This was the one and only trip all of us, I think, can make. You're right. My sister has a full schedule. She was just going through it yesterday. Her July is jam-packed with junior tournaments and amateur tournaments, and then she starts college next month, and then the same for me. I kind of have switched that focus to Q School, which is next month. I have a few more tournaments before that, but it's back to grind mode for Izzy and I. We got home later today, and we both hit the range right away. That is one thing that you're having a lot of fun, obviously, watching Dad and doing other things. We sight saw and eating and all that stuff, but we got back to work today, and we're both really pumped to get the rest of our summer kind of started, this second leg. So,
Bobbi, you were out today and saw you heading out to the golf course and that kind of thing. As a final question on tonight's show here, what are you working on in your game? Where do you feel you really need to improve? One area, or is there a couple, or what's the priority?
I think really I'm playing some really good golf. I really like what I'm doing right now. I'm the most consistent I've ever been. So I think it's just the short game. I feel like I say that every time we come on the show, but the short game, game is always an area of focus. I played a couple holes today, and I got in some fairway bunkers and just bunkers in general. I know that's an area of focus that I need to kind of start to dial in this next month, but it's really just trying to keep like the same swing thoughts and feelings on a loop and keep repeating those because, like I said, my swing feels really nice, and more so focus on my mind to make sure that stays okay as I prep for this huge tournament next month.
Bobbi, always good to have you on the show. Thanks for the time. Best of luck rolling forward. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bobbi Stricker joining us. When we come back, we'll have some final thoughts. But, Dennis, I want to ask you about Mario because we've gone through the whole, and he finished top 25 in the Senior U.S. Open when it all wrapped up. So we'll get to some of that on the other side, or we can do it now. But Mario had a good tournament. We didn't talk about him, but he acquitted himself very well.
Well, the key was when it came time to make money, he was in the game. He shot 4 under that last round. That's as good as most anybody shot. So he's getting, every week, he's getting to feel like he belongs. And I see the people who he's playing with.
Yeah.
And I know he's picking up stuff from those guys here.
Yeah.
So, I look for a lot of stuff, is you talk about something that can be in his future.
Yeah.
That, and he's going to simmer down a little bit. He's still...
Does he remind you of anybody else in the family?
Where'd that come from?
He'd make coffee nervous.
We got to take a break. We'll be back after this time out at TPC, Wisconsin.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
University Ridge has been the proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship since 2016. We've enjoyed working with the American Family team to create 9 years of magical moments at University Ridge. Open to the public and consistently considered one of the best values in the country, University Ridge is the place for golf in southern Wisconsin. Book your tee time up to 90 days out online at universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play, University Ridge.
Oak Park Place Memory Care Communities meet residents where they are in the journey with Alzheimer's and other form of dementia. This is Paul Braun for Oak Park Place. When you need to take that first step and learn more, turn to the experts at Oak Park Place. You'll meet a compassionate team who will help residents find purpose, tailored to individual needs through a success-oriented program. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Crepes. Do you spend more time searching for your ball than actually playing? Well, listen up. Cleary has the perfect solution for you. The Cleary Golf Getaway is the perfect addition to any commercial or storage building. Picture this. Your custom getaway complete with a fresh-cut putting green and a clubhouse so cozy you'll make it your second home. Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. We all need a little getaway, so why not go for the green with a new Cleary building?
If you're a golfer who likes a challenge, consider being a member at TPC Wisconsin. The course provides you with a very challenging 18-hole layout that makes you think before you hit your next shot. After your round, you can relax at the completely renovated clubhouse. The new facility includes 3 restaurants, tennis courts, driving range, and programs for juniors, plus other great amenities. Are you up for the TPC Wisconsin Challenge? For details on becoming a member, 608-249-1000.
Back with you on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani, Paul Brown. Our thanks to Gary D'Amato and Bobbi Stricker, who joined us. We'll do this again next Monday. The golf season, it doesn't wrap. I mean, for those who are playing, we're right in the middle of it. But from a major standpoint, You've got the British Open, the Open Championship coming up in a few weeks, and then you get into playoffs. You get into the Charles Schwab Cup on the Champions Tour and the FedEx, and then the President's coming up in September, and that is in Montreal. We'll be back with you and do this all again next Monday night, and we invite you to come out and join us at TPC Wisconsin for the lesson program, or just to take a tour and see what a membership here, which is fantastic, what it's all about. So we'll visit with you again next Monday night. For Paul Braun and Dennis Tiziani, our engineer Dave McCann, I'm Mike Heller. Thanks for listening to Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.